All righty. All right, so today we are going to cover the CPRS website and what you as district and section leaders can do on your community pages and better communicate with your members. So starting from the home page, the way you guys are going to access your communities, if you don't know that, is to go into My CPRS, and you can go to All Communities or My Communities, preferably My Communities, and enter from there. And what you will see is when you hit My Communities, all the communities you belong to. As the director of communications, I belong to everything, so I see everybody. But so we'll start with kind of like how you guys would then email your members. So there's 3 ways you guys can actually send messages to your members. One is through the discussions. And this way is a nice way to do it. When you post a new message, you can actually add graphics to it. You can make it look pretty, do whatever you need to do it. The only bad thing about going through the discussions is that once a message goes out to everybody, anybody can reply to that message, and it just shows up here on the discussion board. So there's some good things about it, bad things about it, because sometimes you'll post something and somebody will see a friend of yours and they'll say, oh my gosh, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a long time. And of course everybody sees that. So this is one way to do it, maybe not the best way to do it, but it is a possibility. The second way to send a message is actually come up here to settings and then click on email community members. This will send out a message to everybody, but it will be just a text message. So you can communicate with everybody's in the group, and it'll be customized. So right here it says contact informal first. So that's going to put their first name in there. This is the information about your community group. And then down below here is where you would actually fill in all your information for the message. This will be just a text message. So it's text only. It is an email. It's not text to your phone, but it is an email. Text version only, and then that gets sent out to everybody who is currently a member. So we are in the District 3 group. So District 3 has 396 members, and 9 people have opted not to receive a community message. All right, so that's the second way to do it. And the third way to do it is actually from your home page. Over here on the far right, there'll be a moderator emails, and you can send out an email through here. Same thing as the text version. You select that community that it is personalized, but you can still add graphics. You can still add video. You can make it color. You can make it pretty. And then this message is just emailed out. It's not part of the discussion group. So as people cannot reply to this, I don't believe it's like a do not reply email sent out to them. And you can still send out an attachment as well. And on the discussion board, you can send an attachment. On the text version, I don't remember if you can do an attachment. Let's double check. Yes, you can do an attachment. So all 3 versions, you can now send attachments through your emails. All right, that was a pretty quick review of that. Any questions about that part of it? If you do, unmute yourself and just go ahead and shout it out, because I don't have somebody to help me moderate the chat over here. No questions on emails? That's pretty simple, right? All right, let's talk about libraries. So that's a great place for you guys to be saving all your information, especially your save the date flyers or your registration flyers or what have you. The aging section has a really nice kind of library because they've broken everything into folders. So they have their attachments from one of their trainings, their agendas and meetings. This is their newsletters, the 50-something newsletter. So if you want to break this up into groups like this, I'm not sure you can all do that. If you are a community moderator, I think you can, or a community admin, I think you can. If you're a moderator, you can't. But the way you do that is just to come in and change it to admin view, and under, did I have that right? Okay, we're good. All right, so when you come in here, you're going to click on create an entry. And then under the title, you're going to add your title, what library you want to put into. So this is for, oh, I'm having all of them. We're going to leave it at 8 seconds. For the folder, then you didn't select their folder. So they have the post attachments for their meetings, agendas, their newsletter, and so forth. then you select, put in the information about the flyer or whatever information you're putting, the document you're putting up. Event type is usually it's going to be a standard file upload. You can put in hyperlinks, you can put in YouTube videos, but for most part, I think most of you guys will do standard files. The owner usually just puts you in there if you have it. And then don't worry about an image if you don't want to, it'll custom make one for you, and then you just upload it. And that's how you add something to the library.
John, got a quick question.
Sure.
When you add items to the library, does it automatically send an email to all the members in the community?
It does not automatically send one to everybody. If somebody for some reason subscribed to the library and asked for that, then they would get something. Hold on one second. Somebody's messaging me. Turn that off. Okay. So no, it does not automatically, unless somebody subscribe to the library, and then when something is added, then they would get that message that it's there. Any other questions about the library? And another good point about the library, though, is when you do make an attachment to an email that you're sending out, went through the discussion board or somewhere else, it does get added to your library. It does not get put into like where you can actually see it from the library, but it is hidden in your library. So you can always go back and access those through the back end, but it doesn't really show up in this little window up here at the top or in one of these folders. All right, so that's discussions and emails, that's a library. Let's talk about events. And this is probably where I'm gonna spend a good deal of this meeting talking, because this is where you guys will post things to go on your calendar. This is where you can do your registration. The events, it's getting kind of buggy in my opinion. We've had some issues with like the admin section sending out one of their events. And I think, I don't remember what district it was. One of the districts had an issue this last time out. And I don't know why that is. I think it's, if I had to guess, I would say it's because every quarter, the software company updates the software. And I think the last couple of updates they had had some bugs in it. I've been in contact with them asking them to fix those things. So hopefully after I leave, they'll fix those things. But anyway, so let's see, we are in the aging section events. And so if you want to add an event, just click on the green little button here, add an event. There are really only 4 types of events, even though when you click on this list, there's a long list. We kind of tried to make it easy for you guys to find things, and it just really made it more difficult. But there's really just 4. So you want no registration, which means all you're doing is like maybe it's a board meeting, you know, that you've got going on for your district or section. So you don't need registration for it. So you would just fill out the no registration part. And so you have a description, you're going to put the date in there, and you know, time zone, everything else. You hit save, and the event will automatically go to the CPRS calendar and your district or section calendar. Okay, no registration involved, like I said. So that's no registration. The second one is a RSVP only. So this is one where maybe you do have a board meeting coming up. Maybe you're going to have some food items, so you want to kind of get an idea how many people are going to be there. You can do an RSVP. The only weird thing about the RSVP is that it's only for members. So only members can RSVP from your group. If they're not a member, you can give them instructions like email us or text me or call me or whatever to RSVP. But it's only allow members of the group to RSVP. Same thing, give it a title, give it a description, give it a date, hit save, and off it goes into the calendar. All right, that's 2 of them. The third one is called a simple registration. So this one actually is, if you have a price involved, if you're going to charge for the event, then you'll want to use simple registration. Same thing again, title, leave this at simple. This is your community group it goes to. It'll automatically get added to the calendar, add in your information here, who, what, where, when, why. If you have an external website that you are you want people to go to, then you can enter that information here. If you have a registration quantity, you can put that number here. put the date of the event. If it's a repeating event too, like a board meeting, you can actually make this a repeating event as well. If it's a in-person event, which most everything is now, put in a physical address. If it's going to be both, physical and online, you can do both. But like I said, everybody's doing physical now, so put that in here. Your contact information, and then here's where you kind of put your pricing. And as far as pricing goes, you could have 3 different prices. You could have, I think it's early, regular, and late. I think it is. Yeah, early, regular, and late. So let's just say we're going to do all 3. So now down below here, you have when does your early registration start and when does it end? When does your regular begin and when does your regular end? And then when does your late begin and when does it end? And then you can also set your pricing here by, if it's just one simple price for one, regular and non-member, same price. If you want to split it up to member, non-member, you can do that here. And then it's going to add a column or a row there. US dollars. Now these email templates, these are all standard out of the box email templates. So you can, when somebody registers, they get a confirmation. If they cancel or you cancel them, they'll get a cancel registration, and so forth down the line. If you need special emails, so let's just say you're going to be a physical spot, but there's going to be odd kind of parking, or maybe it's in a weird part of the building and you need to give directions on how to get there and you want to send a special email on that, like maybe a week before the event, you will have to contact the CPR's office and have them create that special email for you. They can add it to your group and it will appear down in these emails and you can just send it when you need to send it. Okay, so that's simple registration. This is if you're charging. Again, the last category is full registration, and oh, there it is. So full registration, this is the same as simple, except you can ask some questions. So sometimes maybe you're having a holiday banquet and you're going to do special gift baskets that you want to give away or raffle off, and you want people to know if anybody's going to bring one. Then you could ask that question here in custom input. So, are you able to bring a gift basket? Right. And then you can make that just a question that they can answer, or if it's a required item, you can ask them to put required here, and then they have to answer that question. And then of course here now you can have, it used to be 3, so now they've obviously added some. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. You guys ask up to 11 questions. That's all new. Same thing, title, put your graphics, who, what, where, when, why. Pricing's the same way if you want to adjust your pricing. So you can do regular, early, late, and change your pricing based on member, non-member. There are some other categories that we can always add to this. There's student, non-member. I will tell you that only student member is one that the system will be able to tell if they're a student member. If they are a student non-member, the system does not know that. So if you're going to offer student non-member pricing, and it's going to be like, discounted quite a bit, it's anybody could click on that, because the system's not going to know whether they're a student or non-member. And so you will have to self-check that if you want to. You can add CEUs, you can add sponsors, and there's a few that we had that are special. Yeah, so we do one for DNO section 1s for online versus in person. So if you want something added to the a pricing category, just call the CPR's headquarters, and then they can do that for you as well. All right, any questions about events? None? I did a really good job on that. All right. Last one, HTML pages. So let me get off of this one. We'll go to the admin section again. All right, so you guys have HTML pages that you can add to your website. So we've added a few for you, board of directors and sponsors. So you can come in and change those pages whenever you need to. So let's go look at the admin section. I hope I don't embarrass them because this might be old. Okay, so no, they've been updating it. So this is really, really good. Okay, so here's the 23-24 admin section board. This is a standard board page that we kind of created for every district section as well as the state board. And these are not too difficult to change. They're kind of, you know, they're when you first look at it, they're probably kind of daunting, but once you start working, it's not that difficult to do. So let me try District 10 to see if this is the old one, so I can play with something that's not, I don't want to break. And I don't know how old that is. I think that's kind of old because I think Mark is the current.
That's last year's because Mark's.
Yeah. So Mark's the current. I think Mark's the current.
He becomes the current president on Thursday. He hasn't actually been
Yeah.
sworn in yet.
All right, cool. So if I break this page, we're okay, right?
This is current, yeah.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so if you're on an HTML page and you need to make some changes to it, up here at the very, very top is a black bar. So you guys definitely see edit page. You definitely see edit navigation. I don't think you see these three. These are for me as an admin person. But so this is a page you want to change. So you would come in here and just click on edit page. And then up pops this little HTML WYSIWYG editor. And so let's say, for instance, that Brittany, is your current president. And so this is the information up here that's going to pop up. Let me go back here. So when you mouse over, you see the, I'm sorry, when you see the blue bar here, you see where it says President and Pam Pascal right here. Okay, that is the same as this information right here. Okay, and so show name or title above content. So that's what that is. Now, if you want to change the information that pops up below, so OC Parks and her phone number in the profile, then you're going to click on the edit button, and that's what you're going to see down below here. Does that make sense? Okay. And then this photo, if you ever need to edit these, so here's how we do it. So, if let's say I'm going to change Brittany. Brittany has a new photo. We want to add a new photo for her. We would come up here and click on this insert image button. We would hit the upload. I would recommend that you guys put them in a people's folder right here. And then you would upload the graphic here. And then wherever you find the person, you would add them there. And then let me do one just to show you this. I'll cancel this out so it doesn't replace Brittany's picture. But okay, so if this were the new Brittany, the new picture for Brittany, then under alternate description, I would probably put Brittany's name here. And then put it here and here as well. Put them in both places. These are just for ADA compliance, so that if the person has a reader on their web browser, then of course they can't see the photo, but then it would say photo of Brittany Batiste. Okay. All right, and that's how you would change this information just in here. Very simple. Same thing with Mark. If you want to change out any information, just click on the edit button here. Then edit the page, so forth. Let me show you something kind of cool. So now let's say we are going to replace this page and Brittany's going away and we're going to put Mark in there. This button, copy to clipboard, I'm going to click on this. It just added the information here. So now Brittany, we're going to delete. And Mark, we're going to bring in here. Oops, didn't work. There it goes. And then let's say Mark's going away because he's not going to be president-elect, but Jake is going to be moving over. There you go. Now, so now Mark Freeman, I clicked on this box here, and here's CPS District 10, president-elect. Well, he's not president-elect anymore, he's president, right? So we'll delete that out. And then he's not vice president anymore, he's president-elect. And that's how you would make those changes there. I won't save this. I won't publish it. And so that D10, I won't mess them up too, or the admin, no, D10 I won't mess them up too bad. But that's how you make those changes. And then once you're done changing it, click on save. That will save the changes. It doesn't make it live yet, and nothing's live until you click on publish. Okay, so you can save your changes if you're not ready to publish it, then you can just keep working and keep working, making changes. But once you click on publish, the page is then live. All right. Any questions about changing HTML pages?
Yeah, are there, what's the size limitation on uploading photos?
I think it's 5 gig. It's pretty big.
5 gig for an individual file?
I think for any, you said for image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for any image you upload, I think it's 5 gig is the max size. These photos are really kind of small. Well, the ones I use when I make creating these pages are small. I make them 360 by 450. 360 pixels by 450 pixels. That's normally the size I would do for a board page. But 5 gig is the biggest. And if you, I mean, so these photos are obviously all different sizes. I mean, you can see how small Andrea is, how small Demi is. Is that an I or an L? Oh, that is an I, Demi. And if you have a really, really big photo in here, then it's gonna, it will appear really big and you'll have to make it smaller. The way we wrote the code in here is that we'll try and keep it to within this size box. But on that, on the edit page part here, this photo will be huge. You know, take up, if you upload a huge photo, it'll take up a big space on here. But it should not affect the final look of the page.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right. Any other questions on that? So we gave everybody a sponsored page as well. To be honest with you, I don't even know if anybody uses these. I've never really gone and looked at them very much. So it looks like this is from last year. So D10 did a good job of putting up their sponsors. And this is a page I think they created because I don't think I did this. So this is kind of cool. And if you are ever, you know, if you need to ever copy a page, you can guys come in. If you like this, you can come and actually copy some of the code from here and put it into your page as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 tabs across the top here. That's all that's going to fit is 7. Any extra ones you have are going to pop up under here. So it looks like, you know, from a long time ago, we have Zoom chats for D10. And remember, I talked about earlier about that that moderator email button is here. I'm pretty sure D10 has that as well. I don't see it because I'm not officially a member of D10. All right, we flew through those HTML pages. We flew through events. We flew through just about everything as fast as I could. So I can open it up for more questions if you guys have questions, and I can gladly show you anything else on the website as well. Nothing at the moment. All right, let me show you one more thing. Let me show you edit navigation then. This is, I didn't want to scare people off early, but all right. So when you click on edit navigation, this is going to show you your entire website. And so what's really kind of interesting about this is when we created the CPRS website, and we have all these drop-down menus, we tried to have all of these drop-down menus appear on your websites as well. So when you clicked on resources and then it had a drop down, we had all those at one point set up for all of you. As we were making updates to our website, so let's say under resources, we added push to play podcast, or we added this, you know, park, rock, and wreck and roll it. As we started adding items to this, the sad thing about it was the way the website was designed was that I actually had to come in and manually add those to all 22 districts and sections. And it got really kind of difficult to do. So we changed it out, and now we're just generic buttons at the top. And the reason I explain that to you now is under the website navigation, that is what you're going to see here. So so this is the District 10 website. Here's their navigation. So there's the home button. There's the About CPRS, which is the same as, used to be the same as this, with all the subs in it. Now, though, your About CPRS is just a button. Okay, so if we have disabled all these other ones, so somewhere it says hide now, or it says, yeah, visible navigation is not clicked on. So right now, but this About CPRS is visible navigation. So what's kind of confusing about this, and I didn't want to show it in the beginning, was that this looks really, really complicated with all these files in your district and section website. But in reality, all you have to worry about is this one, board of directors. Here's your sponsors. Here's your Zoom chats. And those are the 3 pages here that are the board of directors, the sponsors, and I think that was the email one, right? Moderator emails. That make kind of sense? And so in here, so now if you want to add a new page, so let's say the admin section now has, they give out a special scholarship that they want to have a tab for, then you would come under web navigation, you would click under new or add a page. And I would put it actually, let's see. Okay, so I just added a page and it appears there. And so then you can come in here and edit this page. Let's say we were going to call that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's talk about this. All right. The way these web pages work is there's a blank spot that things get not added to. This is called this is a div or a div well. I guess they call it well. So that's the box for it. You can make it a 2-column format. You can make a 3-column format. You can have it off-centered, however you want to do that. So let's just say we have one. Now you have to tell it what kind of content you want to put in this. So this might be just a link to somewhere that you would use this graphic here. JavaScript, probably don't need to worry about it. Syndicated content, probably don't worry about it. But if it's going to be like just a HTML page, then you would just click on that, drag it in here, and then you can come in now and edit this as you would any other HTML page that I just showed you, like the board of directors page or the sponsor page or what have you. So you can again make add your colors to your text, make it bold, add graphics, make links. You can put tables in there, but I wouldn't recommend using tables. But this is just a WYSIWYG editor. And so once you're done with this, give it a title. So right now it's HTML. So this is, say, we would call it sponsorships, not sponsorships, scholarships. And everyone can see it, save it. Oops, not going to do it because there's no content in here. There we go. For page code, you can change this. This is new page 22, which means there's 22 pages in that, and the ad or the District 10 web page. I would change that to say scholarships. Probably change that to say scholarships. So this page code name, that's the name that shows up under the navigation. This URL code is the name that shows up in this top bar up here. There you go. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, John, in the events, is there a way to do like bulk registration? I'm thinking for like summer leaders workshops where it's part-time staff that will be attending. Is there a way to just get numbers, like how many people they'll be bringing, rather than having each individual part-timer register, which they may not be members?
Gotcha. Okay, so yes and no. I mean, yes, you can do that. And I imagine probably the best way to do it would be to do full registration.
Mhm.
And so then what you would have to do then is maybe here say, how many people are you bringing, right? Or additional people, right?
Okay.
And then say, let's say additional 1, right? Maybe, oh, I'm gonna bring 2 people. Additional 2, maybe you're gonna bring 3 people,
Okay.
right? So that you would do it that way. You would not be able to do the max registration number though. Because this, you know, when they fill this out, that number doesn't refer to anything that's in registration.
Sure. Yeah, and we would just need numbers, right? Just to get
Mhm.
a head count more than anything else.
Yeah, and or instead of doing additional 1, you can just say additional person, second additional
Mhm.
person, third additional person. That way, then they can fill in the name,
Mm.
and then you would have a name associated with that, right?
Mhm.
So you can do it that way. But there would be no way for you then to, I mean, you would have to create your own separate, you know, Excel spreadsheet in order to get that. And look
Okay.
at it.
All right. And then for reoccurring events, you said there was a way to do reoccurring events.
Okay, let's do one that's just no registration. So it's aging services, test email or test event. So here it says repeating event. Click on yes.
Okay.
It's going to repeat on a monthly basis. It's always repeats on on the day of the week or day of month, however you want to do that. So maybe it's always on the 5th, or maybe it's always on the first Wednesday or something like that. Then you would set this up to, now just remember that, if you put this out for 5 years, it's going to show up on the calendar for 5 years.
All right.
Yeah, and then so the one thing you want to be careful, because some people will do like maybe it's a week-long event, and then they
Mhm.
put the they do a repeating kind of thing. It's going to show up all those times. Or actually, what was it? Somebody do? Oh, I know what it is. They did a scholarship registration, and they started it on January 1st, and they were closing the registration on March 31st. So they did a
Mhm.
repeating, and they did it daily. And so it showed up. I mean, it was on the registration, every scholarship application out for 3 months or 4 months, whatever it
Okay.
was. So we had to take that out of there and fix that up for them. So
Okay.
whatever you do, it's going to show up for all those times. Does that help on that part?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Since we're back on events, let's go kind of show you guys something, the back end of the events, because that's probably going to help you guys with. Let's go look at. Let me go look at calendar. So let's go look at District 10. This is the one that we had issues with on the back end. There was something going on with there was a snag on this one. It was getting buggy. So one person had registered 21 people, and so the event, she didn't complete the registration all the way through, and so somehow it got into some kind of loop. She couldn't go back and fix it. She couldn't go back and finish it. It was just really, really buggy. I don't know why that was, but anyway, let's go look at the back end of their event. You can see how things happen in the back end. So this was the District 10 awards installation. All right, so once somebody is registered for this event and you're a moderator of it, you can come into the back end and manage the roster. And so from here, you can export the registration to an Excel document. So you can see pretty much the person's name, their agency. I don't think you get a phone number. I know you don't get an email address, but you do get whether they paid. Any of the questions that they ask, you're going to get that information, and so forth. So if you export it, that's what you can do. So what's interesting about this, so now let's say right now, so Dave Allen hasn't paid and Alex Anderson hasn't paid. You can come under here under all payment status, and you can do amount due. So now all these people haven't paid yet. And now you can go in and actually email them and then just say, hey, District 10 awards installation, we haven't received your payment yet. When you get a chance, click here, and you can put it as a generic link to the District 10 event page, and to say, hey, please complete your registration, beforehand, and then send an email to all the people who have not paid, right? I guess if you have a refund, you can just send people to them, or you can send, like I said, send to everybody at one time. So this is how you can kind of manage those things in the background. You can send the messages to everybody, export the emails. You can also, let's say, you talk to Dave Allen and he's like, yeah, I'm not coming to the event. So you can actually come in here and then delete him if you need to. So cancel the registration. Sometimes if you have special registrations, like we had that sponsor one I showed you earlier, when you're selecting the type of payments people can make. If you put a sponsor in there, you can make them their pricing 0. And you can also do, you can do that there. If you want to make it so that Dave is one of your speakers and you don't want to charge him for it, he's supposed to be free, you would come in here and do special pricing and you can make it 0 for him. Okay. Let's also say that Dave sent his payment to you. So he mailed it to you, you received it, and you're like, oh, he's paid. Then you can come in here and then make it, was it registration details? I haven't done this in a while. No, I know there's a way to, oh wait, is it a registration? Make payment. There you go. So you come in, so let's do that again. All right, so you come under Dave Allen, you click on registration. You clicked under you made a payment and you received it by check. All right, does that make sense there? So there's a lot of cool things you can do from this back end over here, from the registration area, our manage roster. You can also, if you need to make changes, so let's say that you started the registration, you had pricing of $60 and $30 for 60 for non-members, 30 for members. And then you realize, oh man, I think we did that wrong. It should be $45. You can come into the settings in the background and then do manage events. You're going to get to the District 10 page here. And then here's where you can change your pricing. And so now they only had one pricing, right? They just had one regular price. But let's just say that you needed to add a second one or add a third one. You can come under here and do this. It's not going to let me do it now because the registration's already been, people have already registered for the event. But when you first create your event, if you realize you made a mistake, you can come in this background here and fix it. And those are all your options on that event in the background. So you can see it's kind of cool. So under District 10, they had 164 people registered, 102 paid, 62 haven't paid, 2 people canceled. I'm probably one of those. But these are all the events that I can see from the back end. All right. Any other questions about events? Any other questions about anything about the CPRS website? All right, has everybody gone and added a photo to their own profile? Make sure you do that. If you haven't done that yet, please add a profile picture. All right, that would just be right here. If you haven't added your information to it, do that. So add your bio, add your education, add your history. You can add your social media pages to it as well. Do that. What else can I cover about the website? Oh, real quick, just to let you guys know, especially to Brandon, I heard Brandon's voice kind of reminding me. When a new person joins CPRS, so they are automatically added to a district, depending on where they live. They belong to a district. If they paid the extra money, they belong to a section. But there are 3 community groups that everybody is added to, regardless of whether they pay the extra fee or not. So A-Team is our ledge committee advocacy group. So every person who is a member becomes this. So you can see there's 4,000 people in this group. You are automatically added to this group, and this is a great place for people to discuss advocacy and legislative issues. You are also added to the I'm gonna skip Jedi real quick. Trends into possibilities. So we did have a person writing a quarterly trends report for us. Everybody was added to that group as well. And so this is where you can learn about new demographic or geographic or political or any other trends out there that are affecting Parks and Recreation. This is where we were covering that issue. The third group is the Jedi group. And so this one is, you know, is a strong push in CPRS, strong push worldwide about justice, equity, inclusion, and diversity. So we created this group, everybody's added to it. There are some great discussions happening here. So people are asking all kinds of questions. This is a very safe place to do something like that. It's also a place where they're adding items to the library all the time. So check up on this area. Like I said, everybody is a member of this group. And so when somebody posts a discussion, it's going to literally every member in CPRS. Please be careful not to abuse this because you are able to communicate with every member of CPRS. But do check this out when you have a chance. Use it and let's make this community grow especially well. All right, I think that's really it for me. Any other questions?
Quick question, John. Are there any like stats on like how many people are viewing our pages that we can?
I'm sorry,
check
say that
out?
again.
Can
Stats
we-
on.
Yeah, can we check out like stats on like how many people are viewing our page or anything or no?
You know what? There is a way to do that. I can do that from the background. I've never really had anybody ask me that. So in all honesty, I don't know if it's possible or not. So in the so this is the District 10 website. If we come to edit navigation, I'm trying to remember if you guys have a dashboard that you can see. All right, let's do this. If I can have one of you guys go to your group page and then click on this web navigation, or I'm sorry, the edit navigation button, and then tell me what you guys see up here.
District 11 says setup, ads, traffic, navigation, and return.
So you have site setup, you have ads, you have traffic.
Yes.
Okay, so traffic is maybe that's your dashboard and you can see what's on your web page. Let's see. Okay, so here's the site report, traffic report for District 10. There's the views per day. Top files. So CPRS.org, of course, is the big one. Oh, just how people get to it. I'm sorry. And then Google, people who search it on Google. I don't see a page thing. Let's see view report.
Oh, I think the views per day would give you a good.
Did you click on views per day and something else showed up?
No, not for me. No, I'm just
Oh.
looking at what you're saying.
Well, that gives you site traffic. I don't think that's really what you were looking for, though, was it? You were looking for pages.
So John, if you go back to navigation, for District 7, there was like 2 pages. Let's see, where did I go? Where you found the graphs.
Okay, so under traffic.
Traffic, yeah, sorry, traffic. And then at the top, there's one of 2 pages. So I clicked, and mine was going kind of slow as well. So I clicked over to the second page and it gives me some
Oh, here you go.
page detail. Now, I don't know if that's what folks are looking for, but
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was looking for.
Mhm.
Cool.
John, have you ever had a situation where when you're building the board of directors page, the picture that you programmed in there to show up doesn't show up? Because I'm having that situation on the aquatic section board. And if you click edit, it's there, but when you go back to like view it regularly, it's not showing up.
Hmm. And the size of the photo is not an issue, or the style of the document or the image, so it's a JPEG or a GIF file, but nothing else?
It doesn't seem to
Or
be,
a
but
PNG or a PNG file?
hold on, let me look.
That was aquatics, you said?
Yeah, it's the aquatic section page. My region 1 rep it's a JPEG file. His name's Colin. It doesn't show up because I'm glad you showed me how to update this, but the region 1 rep right there, like if you go down, it's gray. Right? But if you
Right.
click edit this page and you look at it, it's there. His picture's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows up on his profile page, like for his membership or like his profile in CPRS on the
Mm-hmm.
website.
Where did you upload that file at?
Stephanie uploaded that one, but I have a copy of it. I was gonna try again, but
So I mean, it's like, okay, so I don't see it here in this generic folder.
Okay.
It's not in the people folder. Right? Let me close that and go look again. So it's, I mean, it looks like it's asking for it from this website, right? So
yeah.
that's our website. And that's in CPRS uploaded images. Let me cancel that for a second. Cancel that. Let's go look at Omni. Yeah, it's really kind of weird. My suggestion would be just go ahead and delete it and then re-upload it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You guys get to see now how I do things. Hold on. Right click. Oh, it's not gonna let me copy it. Cancel. Oh. Preview. You did save it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of weird.
Okay. So just delete it and then re-upload it and then.
Yeah,
delete
try
it.
that. And if it doesn't work, then send it to me.
Okay.
You know, as an attachment. I'll try and upload it from the back end and see if that makes any kind of difference.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's really weird that that's doing that.
Yeah.
It's not even letting me, I was hoping I can just kind of click and copy it, but it's not even letting me do that either.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anything else for anybody?
Hey, John, I just wanted to ask, I know we're recording this. Is it possible to get a copy of this to show some of our other members on the board?
Oh, good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so let me show you guys something else too. And this is where I'm going to store it. There is a folder. So when you guys go to all communities, scroll on down to CPRS leader resources. Okay, so this is an open group. Anybody can come and look at this group. And in the library here, I've uploaded videos on how to do the HTML pages. So like if you want to change your board page, here's a video on that. If you want to just change something else on your web page, here's another video on that. This is about the emails that we talked about, the discussions, the settings, and the moderated emails. And then here's an event registration demo. So everything that we just kind of covered today, there's a video broken down already for that. I'm going to, when I'm done, stop recording this, I'm going to add that video to this folder. So again, it's under all communities, and it's a CPRS leader resources right here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? All right, well, if that's it, then I will end this presentation for you guys. Again, I will be here for another 4 days. My last official day is the 28th, but actually I'll be in for probably another 2 weeks after that. I'm gonna still kind of wrap up the magazine for them. So I'll still be in the office. If you guys are doing something and you have an issue with something, just call the CPRS office and just say, hey, I know John's still there. Can I talk to him? And I'll gladly help you guys out with anything along those ways. If you are doing something on the website, if you get stuck on anything, and honestly, if it's like Aquatics just did that, like graphics not showing up, then definitely call the CPRS office. Don't spend more time on something than is, a good thing. 5-10 minutes. If you spend more than 10 minutes on something, you're struggling with something, call. And if I'm here for the next 2 weeks, I can definitely help you on that. If I'm not, you talk to Stephanie can help you out on that. Then the new John is learning pretty much, so he's going to probably pick up some of that. But the other person, the 2 Stephanies in the office can help you out very much on most of the CPRS website stuff. So call them, don't spend more time on something. And I'd be more than happy to help you guys out as long as I'm in the office. All right, with that in mind, no more questions, last chance. In 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, take care.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Bye-bye.